Hi everyone, it's Mr. Howe here. This week we are going to be learning how to make a sticky banana cake. For this recipe you are going to need 2 eggs, 2 bananas, 60 grams of brown sugar, 130 grams of caster sugar, 130 grams of self-raising flour, 60 grams of butter for your cake, 30 grams of butter for your sauce, some honey or golden syrup and some vanilla. Some of the equipment you're going to need for this recipe include a wooden spoon, a spatula, a mixing bowl, a saucepan, a baking tin that's lined and a vegetable knife. So the first thing we're going to do in our recipe is we're going to make the sticky sauce that's going to go on the top of our cake with our bananas. And to make this we're going to add 2 tablespoons of golden syrup or honey to a saucepan that's going to be at a medium to high heat. We're also going to add our brown sugar to the pan. While this cooks slowly, we are going to slice our bananas to about 1 centimetre thickness. If they're slightly thinner, that's okay as long as they're all the same size. Now be careful just to keep an eye on the pan while you do this and make sure your sugar doesn't burn. Once you've sliced your bananas, you're going to arrange your bananas into the bottom of your baking tin, which has been lined with a little bit of greaseproof paper, and you're going to cover all of the bottom of the tin. Once you've done that, you can put that to one side and you can check your sauce again to make sure that it's cooking. With the remaining pieces of the banana that you haven't used, you can put them into a small bowl and you can use a fork to mush them up into a paste. And we're going to add this to our cake mix, so we've still got the banana inside the actual sponge cake as well, and it saves wasting ingredients. I'm just going to keep checking my sugar. I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg to my mixture, and I'm going to stir that in with my fork, and then I'm just going to put it to one side to when I need it for the sponge part of the recipe. Now once my sugar is fully melted, I'm going to add some butter to the pan. Now the butter is going to react with the sugar and it may be quite hot, but if that's the case then you just need to take it off the heat. The heat of the sugar will actually melt the butter. So we're going to stir in the butter, take it off the heat if it gets too hot, and then once it's fully incorporated, it should be a nice dark golden colour, and that's going to be poured over the top of our bananas. I'm going to try and get it in all the little gaps of the bananas and make sure it's well spread. Now that's going to cook in the oven with our bananas and caramelise our bananas during the cooking process. We're now going to move on to making the sponge part of the recipe. So we're going to add our 60 grams of butter with our 130 grams of caster sugar, and we're going to use a wooden spoon to cream this mixture together. Now the creaming method is a method we use when making cakes, and the process is to cream together all the ingredients one by one, so it's a nice creamy texture, and this way the consistency of our mixture is nice and smooth and we won't have any bits of flour or butter in our cake mix. Now once it's all incorporated, we're going to add 1 egg at a time, and we're going to very slowly to start off with mix the egg into the butter and the sugar, and then we're going to speed up and cream the eggs into the mixture. Once we've done the first one, then we'll add the second egg, and we'll do exactly the same thing again, slowly to start off with, and then picking up the pace and to cream the mixture to make it a nice smooth looking cake batter. Now once the mixture is nice and creamed together, we're going to add the remaining part of the banana that we mushed up earlier on, and we're going to add that to the mixture, and we're going to incorporate that into our cake batter. And we're going to mix that together, exactly the same process with the wooden spoon, and make sure it's fully combined. Once it's fully combined, we're going to add our self-raising flour. Now you can use a sieve if you've got one, if not you can just put it all in one and mix it together. And exactly the same process, we're going to cream the mixture to make sure it's nice and consistent and there's no clumps of flour left in the batter. Now a sieve is really good for this because it breaks up those lumps and it gives a little bit more air to the mixture, so we can get a nice fluffy sponge texture for our cake. We're going to add 1 capful or half a teaspoon of vanilla essence to our mixture to give it a little bit more flavour. And we're going to incorporate that into our mixture. And then once our mixture is all fully combined, we're going to bring back our bananas that are in our baking tin, and we're going to slowly pour on the cake mixture onto the bananas, and we're going to try and keep it as even as we possibly can. And we're going to use our spatula just to scrape off all the cake mixture from the bottom of the bowl. This is going to go in the oven for about 25 minutes, but you can check it after 20 minutes if you wish, and it's going to go on at 180 degrees. Now when you've got your cake out of the oven, you're going to check it. You can use a knife or you can use a skewer, and you're just going to make sure the knife comes out clean, so there's no cake batter on there. If this is the case, then your cake is ready to flip. Now you want to leave it just for a couple of minutes just so it's not super hot. You're going to put a plate on top of your cake, and the easiest way to do this is use a tea towel and wrap underneath and flip over. Then you can use the tea towel to take off the lid of your cake, and if you've done everything correctly, the cake should just fall out of the tin nice and easily and should have a nice caramelized sugared top to your cake. And there you have it guys, that is my sticky banana cake, and it would go brilliant with some ice cream. Have fun guys, let me know how you do.